Project Romeo. So I told you about in the introduction about Romeo. Romeo is going to be a 140 centimeter high robot. So let me show you a picture. Okay. Romeo is more than just a concept. It's been already prototyped early this year, and we are about to release a second prototype in February next year. The first prototype was just a static prototype. The next prototype in February next year will be a moving prototype. We are working hard to finalize to have a final version of Romeo by beginning of 2013. The robot is really designed to help people. We are working in a consortium of people who are there are two primary targets. One is to help vision deficient people in their apartment. And the other is to monitor and put some kind of surveillance to elderly people who might need assistance. So the robot will have all sensors that are already implemented in NAO, and will also have more sensors like 3D camera, for instance. But the message is that NAO is really where all the developments that you may perform on NAO will be transportable to Romeo. So you are not working on NAO today for nothing. You are preparing the next version of robots, and you can already start doing in-depth research on NAO, and you will be able to transfer that to Romeo when it's released. So now introduced himself a little bit. Now was primarily the first design of NAO you can see in January 2005 was probably very basic, and the final shape was released in February 2008. So the robot has been in its final shape over the last 3.5 years. I told you this is the first generation of robot. Romeo is the second generation of robot. And the robot does not come only with the hardware part of the robot. It's also a full platform, including a software suite that I will describe to you, and also a software development kit that allows you to develop your own behaviors on the robot. NAO can move. NAO has 25 motors in order to perform very complex movements. So you have seen during his small presentation some kinds of movements. You can see that he's been standing on one foot. It's also the robot used as a standard platform for the RoboCup soccer competition that takes place every year. So we have 24 teams, university teams, competing with the exact same robot, and they are competing on their ability to program the robot to play soccer absolutely autonomously. So it's not programmed. It's not recorded, or it's not activated by a joystick. It's autonomous robot that you put on the field, and you don't interact with the robot anymore as long as he's on the field. The robot has also lots of sensors. So there are two cameras. One camera on the front that is looking in the front of the robot, and one in the mouth that is looking at the feet. It was requested for the RoboCup so that it can visualize the ball. The robot has also 4 microphones around the head in order to perform sound localization. Of course, it has speakers. There are force sensing resistors below the feet that allows the robot to, let's say, have conscious of whether it's standing or not. So I can show you how it works, principle of it. there is an inertial sensor inside the torso, so that the robot can have also notions of the balance. So let's put the robot down. So the robot understands that he's fallen because there is no more pressure under the feet, so he's standing up again. Of course, it works both ways. The robot has also bumpers. There are 2 bumpers on the feet, and there are also sonars on the torso for ultrasound, in order to get to provide the robot with distance notions. He also has sensors in the hands. We don't see them, but there are 3 zones of tactile sensors in both hands. So I mentioned the loudspeakers already. There are LEDs all around the robots. The LEDs were actually requested in order to provide some kind of emotion to the robot. We are using the colors to give different notion of emotion.